Hi everybody, I am back today with my third layout using my H2KAKWS style kit for July. I'm showing you my photo. I'm going to play with some of these papers. I'm going to use the doilies. You might see as I go through here that some of the things I used on my layout yesterday and the day before yesterday are here in total. That's because this is a very special layout and I needed to get it done quickly. So it was actually this was actually the first one I created. I am going to go ahead and start by folding this striped paper, giving it a really good crease, and then cutting, almost like cutting a hunk of it out or a diagonal bit of it out. And I have to fussy cut this and do it by hand because I don't have a trimmer that cuts at an angle like this. Like it's not long enough. So that's okay though. That's what bone folders and scissors are for. So if you're wondering why this layout is very special, one of the things that I do in the scrapbooking community is I teach a monthly class for Alice Bowl at Scrap Happy, and I've been doing that for over a year now. I think this is our second year doing it, maybe even third year. Definitely second. I think this is the second year. So, if you are not a member of Scrap Happy, it is a super fun subscription service. You get lots of extra goodies and extra classes, online crops via Zoom. Alice teaches, I teach. It's just fabulous. So if you are not familiar with Scrap Happy at all, I will leave a link to the website down below, and you can check that out. One of the bonus things that you get with a Scrap Happy membership is, or one of the things that's included in your Scrap Happy membership is an event called LOAD. LOAD stands for Layout a Day, and each LOAD event has its own kind of theme, you get technique prompts and story prompts and lots of things to kind of jumpstart your creativity. So right now we are in the middle of doing a LOAD with just the Scrap Happy members, and the theme of the LOAD is Barbie. How awesome is that? I am hosting today's prompt and technique, and this is my video that goes along with my example. So if you want to know more about the story prompt or the technique prompt, those are secret. I can't tell you, and you'll have to check it out over on the Scrap Happy website when you become a member. Now that I have rattled on about that for entirely too long, let's continue on with the layout. So once I had that striped paper cut, which is not cut at a true diagonal, I placed it onto another one of my hybrid papers that I printed, and then I matted my photo, popped it up, layered it up with a doily, and I added just a little strip of that same paper that I matted my photo with, and I added it there just to kind of make sure that that pattern was visible in more than one spot so it didn't look out of place. Now I am going through all of the ephemera pieces and I'm kind of collaging or fitting them in to this open spot, so the other part of my diagonal. And this is why I didn't create a true diagonal. I didn't fold the paper completely in half on the diagonal. The reason for that is because I didn't want that area to become too busy. I'm going to fill it and kind of collage in all of these adorable, amazing die cuts, and I didn't want there to be too much. I didn't want it to look too busy. I didn't want it to look overwhelming to the eye. I just wanted it to be a little section where, you know, you had a kind of a lot of stuff to look at, but then you had kind of that break with just the stripy paper. I'm going to go ahead and create a little bit of a cluster above my photo. Again, the idea being just to kind of pull your eye through this entire layout so that you're not overwhelmed, but your eye has the ability to kind of catch all the little details of this particular project. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of hemp twine to the top of my tag. I don't really care for naked tags. Sometimes I leave them naked, but for the most part, they're going to get some hemp twine in the hole. Next up, I am just adhering down these bits and pieces for my collage, kind of committing to where all these little pieces are going to go. And now I'm going to go ahead and do all of my journaling. I do have a bit to say about this photo, mostly because the load prompt worked perfectly for this photo. So I used it as kind of a story prompt to kind of jumpstart my journaling. I wanted my journaling area to be a little bit unexpected. So this is hard to explain. I cut the top off the journaling spot and then kind of placed it at the bottom below the journaling spot. You'll see. And then I'm going to hit it with my tiny attacher to add a little bit more texture. I just didn't want something that was very like rectangle and square. I wanted something that was maybe at an angle or had a bit of interest to it. So now I'm thinking about what I want to use for a title. I'm going to go through these black scripty words. I'm trying so hard to use them up. It's not working, but I'm trying. What I decided to do is to go for a title that is a little bit tone on tone. So on camera, this title is definitely going to be hard to read. But the title is My Favorite Accessory, and you can absolutely use it. You can absolutely see it on the finished layout, and it's easy to read. It just doesn't interpret well. There isn't a high enough contrast for it to really show up on the video. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of break up my accessory into syllables. Also, shout out to Basic Gray, because how old are these letter stickers? And they stick fabulously. No extra adhesive needed. They come right off the sheet, right on the paper, stuck down fabulously. So yay! Good job on making letter stickers, Basic Gray. I wish you could still be in business and do it. Continue to make them. Next up, I am going to go ahead and trim off the edges of the edges that are overhanging. So I have quite a few edges that are overhanging, but some of these bits that I'm going to pull off, I'm going to place onto the other side of my layout. So they're not going to go to waste or anything like that. And now it's time for the sequins. So I have this pack of sequins from Spiegelmom Scraps. They are called Wide Open Spaces, and I'm going to use them to fill in the open spaces around those ephemera bits. So I'm just doing my usual kind of sequin placement here. I put them in little clusters of 3 or clusters of single sequins around my ephemera pieces. Grab my crystal katana, which is love that thing. And I'm just going to pop the sequins all around my layout to add a little bit of extra sparkle, a little bit of something that's not paper, those kinds of things. I love sequins. They're so good. So once I have those sequins sprinkled all around the page, that's where we're going to call this one done. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you all have a fabulous weekend. I will see you back here again on my channel on Monday, unless you are one of my members, and then you will get videos this weekend. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.